From homeless to home ownership, veterans should not have to suffer because agents don't know how to connect a homeless veteran with real estate, but it goes together. A homeless veteran with resources can rent an apartment, depending on the resource they have. It could be a HUD VASH voucher. It could be any SSVF form of resource. It could be. Okay. Oh, I'm having technical difficulties, but guess what? I'm here. I wanted to play the intro, and I'm going to still play that intro. Welcome to Boots on the Ground. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate and Consultant. And thank you for being here. I'm not sure why my intro didn't play, but I will just play one for
My book
you.
is now a top new release on Amazon in United States military veterans history. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran and wife of retired Army Master Sergeant Stephen Swanson. It's my honor to keep serving our homeless veteran community. This guide is the blueprint for housing solutions, from homeless and senior veterans to women, disabled, justice-involved, and LGBTQ+ heroes. Order today on Amazon and be part of the movement. Together, we can make sure no veteran is left behind.
Welcome again. Welcome back. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm going to swing you guys around. I was down to 1 minute before I was to go live just now. Down to 1 minute. We had 1 minute left, and I was writing an offer for one of our veterans who I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. The agent, my co-agent, asked him today, I said, Elijah, how many houses did you show? I mean, he's the young gun on the team, so he has the capability and the stamina to go out there and open doors. Where I remember doing that years and years ago. I've been housing homeless veterans and veterans, period, for the past 22 years, but specifically homeless veterans. And even though this veteran is not homeless, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine because I've done it before. I've shown over 30 properties. I mean, when we were looking to buy our home, we saw a lot of homes, but is that the norm? Is it regular? Not really. I've shown 2 houses to veterans and they were like, oh, I don't need to see anything else, Yvette. I like this one. This is the one I saw on the MLS. I saw it on, homes.com or whatever he or she saw it. And that was it. We put in an offer. Well, this buyer, I know I showed him about 5 or 6 houses. And when I pulled up to the first house, I said, you know what? I'm not coming back out. I'm going to sit right here in my comfy office chair and do work behind the scenes and come back and tell you all what work I did. So Elijah showed the buyer, after I showed him about 5, he showed him about 17. And that was the offer that I was putting in with 1 minute to spare to come on live. I can't. I'm sitting here and I said, I can't make this up. I've got 1 minute. So I want to thank you all for joining me again this evening. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson. You're welcome, Nate. You're welcome. And look who is here. The buyer himself has said thank you. 1 minute, Nate. I have 1 minute to spare. And I told you I'm going live right away. What was the biggest win for veterans today? That's what you always want to know. The biggest win for veterans. We got an offer in And they still have me. Boots on the ground, fighting for their benefits and their rights to housing. So that was the win, getting in this offer. And I learned a lot today. Today was really a peculiar day. And we're going to go into 9:18. So this morning I did a 1-hour training live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok on the publication. Let me just grab my publication so I don't have to keep reaching to the back. This is my publication series for the veteran community. So, and I always say a lot of questions that you all have can be found in the pages of these books. And these books are on my bio, This book was specifically written for social workers, case managers, human care professionals, first responders, to know what to do when they get a homeless veteran instead of sending them back out into the streets or putting them in lockup. Veteran home care entrepreneurship for those who say that. I'm a nurse. I am a medical professional, and I want to start a veteran care home license. Well, this is the book for you. If you want to start a veteran shared living model, I've got like 7-8 different models in this book, and you can combine them however you want to. You can have about 20 models if you combine some. Finding Home. This is a nationwide resource guide for veterans, for you, as a matter of fact, helping veterans find their resources. And their resources are everywhere in the community. I was trying to turn the mirror around for you guys over there on TikTok. A Realtor's Blueprints. This class and book was approved by the IDFPR to teach realtors. And it was approved as a 3-hour course, but I'm taking it back as a 6 hours because you can't learn what I've been doing for 22 years in a 3-hour course. And this is the book too. And then the book for veterans who want to go into business. This is that book, and this will be a class launch too. And then the Chicago book. What policy change are you most excited about right now? I don't know. None. There are no policy changes in this community. What policies that I would like to see changed? That's a question right there. Great show, always packed with real insights. Thank you so much. So the policies that I would like to see changed, those are written in the congressional letters that I write to the politicians. And I'm going to read, since you did bring me down that rabbit hole, I will read 2 policies that I would like to see changed in our community. And this is for one veteran in the Chicagoland area. And these letters of congressional backings here they are. They're going to Senator Tammy Duckworth, Senator Laura Elman, Senator Richard Durbin, and representatives of the states who are over that area where this veteran is. So as long as we can get these politicians rallying around these 2 resources right here that you asked me about, Landrick Jr., what policy change are you most excited about? These would be some excited policy changes to see in the community. Emergency reentry policy, which will allow veterans who have previously received support to reapply when facing essential utility loss or eviction. Right now, that policy is if we help you one time, we can no longer help you. I would love to see and get excited about that policy being changed. And then the second one is a universal emergency veteran relief fund. That would be the criteria is to create a rapid response fund for all veterans in crises, regardless of injury status, income bracket, or country or county of residence. And that was written in here because of exactly what's going on with this veteran whose water bill is now over $600. $600. Hey, this is a question. What's the most overlooked issues affecting veteran. I can't tell you the most overlooked issue. You can ask ChatGPT that. I can tell you the most overlooked issues that are facing veterans that I work with, boots on the ground, and have been working with for the past 22 years. And it's getting past the credit check. It's getting past a criminal background check. You know, it's getting past all of those checks that property owners and management companies want to do, you know, having veterans pay a credit check for every single apartment that they apply for. You can apply for 5 apartments and have to pay for a credit check, and you're already denied. I got an email just yesterday from Charlottesville, Virginia, from a property management company. Yes, they have a property, a 2-bedroom for my homeless female veteran, senior veteran, 70 years old, sleeping in a tent. And their criteria is to do a credit check, background check, and past residential check, and your credit check has to be 675 or greater. Who's going to have that as a homeless veteran just trying to survive every single day, every day? So the policies that I'm looking to present now to be changed into a bill, or whatever they do with that, you know, do an amendment of how veterans are treated when they're going out looking for housing with guaranteed funds. These veterans have Section 8 vouchers, the HUD VASH, which is paying 70 to some 100% of their rent. They have the resources to pay their rent, but the roadblock is the credit checks, the background checks, the employment verifications, the previous living where they used to live. Those are already denials. And then they had to pay for the credit check. That's an issue that's being overlooked right now. Veterans who have resources that are funded through the federal government, the state, wherever their rent is being guaranteed from, do an amendment. Do an amendment. And that's what I'm fighting for with these congressional letters, is to shed light on what's going on in our homeless veterans community right now, and how we as a community can help change that. So you coming on here asking me all of these questions, which I am so grateful you have joined me once again. And please like and follow me and share the video so other people who may have the same questions or who are looking for answers can come and watch this. Great show as always. Looking forward to tomorrow's update. Thank you. So today's update, go and start buying the new encyclopedia, U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resources Guidebook Series. So all of your questions can be answered. They're all in all of these books that I have written. So go get them. That's what I've been doing in the background when I'm not going out opening doors. I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans. I'm tired of opening doors. And if I do, it's for very, 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 very special, but it's very, 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 very limited that I'll go out and open a door. I'm back here putting together policies, procedures, publications, so you all can learn how to do what I do. For 22 years, I've been housing homeless veterans, and I never had the opportunity to slow down and write a book. Well, I did once. Well, actually 3 times. This was the first book. This is the Veterans Buying the Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. This is number 2. This is the 3rd edition. So I had time to write and rewrite. But when I stopped showing houses and I was able to focus and getting my thoughts out to share with the community, this is what came out. All right. So you ask me a million questions, go buy the books. Go buy the books. That's why books are in publication. Veterans from Boots to Business, Finding Your Passion and Using Business with AI. Chicago Veterans, a comprehensive guide to federal, state, and local resources. I'm still looking for a major sponsor for this one so we can give away 500 to 1,000, 2,000 books. A realtor's blueprint. I'll be teaching this again in the community. Finding home. Go get this book for everybody who says we shouldn't have homeless veterans, but you don't know what to do about it. This book teaches you how to find those resources for veterans so that they won't be homeless. That's a very novel idea, isn't it? I should say so myself. That's what I've been doing all these years, finding resources if they didn't have them. And this book, A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models, this gives you models that you can use for homeless veterans, senior veterans, women veterans, justice involved veterans, disabled veterans, veterans of domestic violence, LGBTQ community. Pick up a book. All these questions you have are between the pages of my series. And this book was written for social workers, case managers, human care professionals, and first responders. I want to thank you all for your time. Basically, what I did today, besides putting in that offer, I had a class with the Apex. That's one of the contracting agencies for the SBA, or they work directly for the SBA, because my SBA profile under the DSBS, the Dynamic Small Business Service Profile, I don't know if that's what the last S stands for, but the DSBS, it wasn't updated and I didn't know how to update it. So I had to take a class. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to update it. But this one company was trying to charge me $1,100 to do something that the instructor did with me in about 30, 45 minutes. So that's what I did today in my business. I've got to send out some cards to previous buyers, so I have to do that tonight. And then send out some resources to Texas. There's a homeless veteran who contacted me for Texas, but I believe he's moving to Alabama. Then a case that we were working on yesterday, but I haven't heard back from this homeless female veteran. She's stirring up a bit. But it's bad because we have all of these homeless veterans in our cities, in our towns, and we don't have knowledgeable people to, I'll answer that one second. We don't have the knowledgeable people to move those barriers away. If you have a veteran with a voucher and you have an investor who's looking at his bottom line, these veterans come with social work, case management. So if anything happens, you have a point person to call. Instead of a civilian who just has a regular Section 8 voucher, then you have to go through the rigmarole, calling and emailing and waiting. And no, with the veteran has a social worker, case manager, peer support. They've got me. So it takes that guesswork out the way of what happens if something happens. So we've got veterans who are out here in Chicago who need a 5-bedroom, 4 to 5 bedroom single family house or duplex, because he's got boys and girls with the 4-bedroom voucher. I need 2 more 2-bedroom units in Chicago. One of them needs to be fully furnished. And I need a 2-bedroom in Charlottesville, Virginia, and this is just a short list, and a 1-bedroom in Indiana, Dyer, Cherville, Maryville, areas like that, where, you know, it's, and I contacted one of the agents who I know very well. I respect her and her husband so much. I love them so much, so that we can get together and take this information into the community where she could be this realtor in her market. So that's what I did today. Then I have to update the second edition of Mastering the Art of Proposal Letter Writing. So this book right here awarded me grants. One grant was $3,750 just from letters, a proposal letter. And then another grant was for $10,000. Had to fill out a whole lot of questions to get the money, but I was able to do that because I know how to write letters. I've got a master's degree. I've got my degree is in human resource development with the concentration in instructional design. I was also a corporate trainer and an instructional designer. So writing books and putting books together and information in a structured format, that's my profession. Before I was, no, it was, yeah, before I was a realtor, I was in school working on my master's degree to get my master's in human resource development with the concentration in instructional design. And then I went and got my real estate license. So this is what I do now. So I've got to update that book. I've got 4 books coming out, including my new journal. I got to keep notes every day. Every day, I got to keep paper notes. You know, some people want to keep notes on their computer. That's fine too. But look, I want to see what I did day to day. So when you ask me what was the win, I could tell you the win. I could tell you, controversies. I can tell you plans and policies and things because I have it all written down. I went on sam.gov and I was looking at some sources sought and some upcoming contracts and some contracts that were already active. And there was one contract I saw in Hawaii. And let me show you this on page 73. On page 73, I sent resources to a veteran in Hawaii right here. And the contract the contract that this is for is the same area, is this KAUAI, and this is for KAUAI Hawaii, and this is for contracted emergency residential services. So this young lady, and then I read, this young lady found housing with the services, with the resources that I sent her in Hawaii. Okay. So when I was reading the questions and answers about this contract, I'm like, yeah, they need help. There was only one person who submitted that, oh, hey, I can do it. But what if this happens? What if I don't find a property before I win the contract? And then I read through the notes even further, and I printed it out. But anyway, it said that, and this is what I teach people in my group, is how to find your veterans. Because even though this is a contract, you're still responsible for finding those veterans. And where do you find those homeless veterans so that you can get paid? Or where do you find those veterans who will qualify for this contracted emergency residential services? All of that's in that contract. So you have to follow that contract word for word, step by step. And that's what I'm going to be teaching in my private group, because those of you who want to do shared housing for veterans, you're going to have to know how to get paid, and you're going to have to know who can pay you in your facilities, in your homes. So I want to thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, and I am really, really enjoying coming on here live, because I've never shared this information with anybody before. 22 years of working boots on the ground in the community, housing homeless veterans. I didn't have time to come on and talk to anybody about anything. My realtor colleagues would ask me that, how do you get paid housing homeless veterans? Do you get paid housing homeless veterans? It sounds like it's a charity because they're homeless. That's because people don't know where the money is. The government just released on August 27, 2025, $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country, from AZ, what's that? AK, what's AK? What's AK? I don't even know. All the way to WV. So it goes from AK to WV, $818 million. And this is only one pot of the money. This doesn't even include HUD VASH. This includes where they're going to be transitionally. That's what this money includes. This money includes housing and housing counseling, health care, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, and transportation. How do you merge some of those so that you can fit what these organizations are looking for? Or I teach you how to do that in my private group. I want to thank you all for watching. If you have not clicked to like and share, then go ahead and do that so you can be here tomorrow. And then whenever else I come on, click that bell button over there on YouTube so you'll know when I'm coming on. And get some education. That's why I wrote this book series, so you can get educated in the community, so you can stop. I get so many community members that'll call me or email me, text me and say that I have a homeless veteran. Okay, well, guess what? Get the book so you can help house that homeless veteran. I'm only one person. So you want to learn how to house homeless veterans? I done put my brain in my series. So grab some books. Thank you all for watching over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I'll see you all tomorrow. Make sure you go to my bio and buy some education. I'm going to play it out, play the outro. Hopefully the outro will play.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guidebook series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenge